The following program contains naughty bits.
And today's sexy sex symbol, folks, goes back to 1985. Kelly LeBrock, everybody's favorite female Frankenstein in the John Hughes classic, Weird Science.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Today, Clint is the creative director of one of the most anticipated games at Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed codename Hexe.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get sexy. Or is that Hexe? Because if you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, tell me so. Oh, Rod Stewart, you'll never ever be the same again. And neither will Ubisoft if you want to believe this rumor about their forthcoming video game called Assassin's Creed Hexe, which is German for witch. And in my history of dating beautiful women, I can't say I've ever met a German woman who could be described as a witch, unless you're talking about that crazy old hag from the Wolfenstein games. Gosh, she was a scary villainess, wasn't she? But without further ado, folks, we got to get into this today. This is not going to be the longest video covering this subject, but I thought it was worth talking about because at the moment, Ubisoft are in a lot of trouble.
Trick or treat, bitches, with Kung Fu Hot Dog.
So the reason why Ubisoft are dreading the release of Assassin's Creed Hexe, because it's been billed by a leak from within the company that is going to be the gayest Assassin's Creed title ever released.
Today, Clint is the creative director of one of the most anticipated games at Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed codename Hexe. Anything you can tell us about the game before we go?
No, but I'll see you all soon, in the past.
Not that the other titles before it were ever gay or implied that, but honestly, can I imagine a world where there is an Assassin's Creed game based on I'm supposing she's going to be a beautiful female protagonist, but we know already the history of Ubisoft and there are poor excuses for terrible motion capture. So no, I don't hold any kind of hope whatsoever. Will we see witches bumping up against each other? I don't think so, because that would be my ideal Assassin's Creed game. But this chick called Elsa, your protagonist, is meant to have supernatural abilities.
And they develop happily ever after, right?
Life isn't always that linear.
And apparently it won't take place in the Salem, Massachusetts witch trials in that era, which I believe was 1692. It will be more towards the end of the Roman Empire. So I'm not fully versed about that part of history and whether witches were roaming around or women believed to be witches. So I find it quite funny, actually. And the main creative director, who's called Clint, I don't believe that phone is going off. How dare that phone goes off? And one of the main creative directors, Clint Hocking, or is it Hoking, or is Hoking joking here?
Even his job application was in stealth mode.
Super stealth.
A rather funny developer from Ubisoft who actually returned to the company 5 years after he left. As his boss said, or one of his bosses, a girl boss, what a shocker, we call it the boomerang effect here at Ubisoft, because they just leave the door open. So if you want to come back, here you are. Here are the keys, jingle jangle. And it's really funny that after all that's been said and done about this article here from That Part Place, will these rumors come true regarding Assassin's Creed Hexe? Because it will put a spell on you. Well, it depends. I mean, again, people are getting excited about it on Twitter X, publishing the details, what they know thus far. It sounds okay, but when you look at the grand titles of Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, Unity, Brotherhood. They're all great. They got fantastic writing, fantastic character design, all using or utilizing the Anvil engine before they switched over to a more problematic game engine. Unity by far has the best acrobatics, the best parkour that I've ever seen in an Assassin's Creed game. It's amazing. It absolutely is. And the only good thing that I liked about that game, especially after it was negatively received upon its release in 2014, and honestly, the gameplay mechanics put some modern day games to absolute shame when the Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire, and what Ubisoft did afterwards was to release Unity for free for players to download and experience it, because the actual cathedral is in the video game itself. I have to give Ubisoft some bonus points there. But Lucy O'Brien had an interview with Yves Guillemot, and he mentioned Hexe as being one of the games that's going to be far superior. I'm making that last part up, by the way. But it's going to be a different title in the all of the Assassin's Creed franchise. And I'm imagining that's how he spoke to Lucy O'Brien in the company interview. But again, Yves Guillemot is one of these people, he likes to do damage control to himself. It's bizarre. I mean, they've got a Ghost Recon game coming out maybe next year, where it's all going to be in first person POV. I don't like that. After Breakpoint, why does Ubisoft want to go for a first person point of view game? It could be good, but I've always liked to play those particular games like Wildlands in third person, because it just gives a bigger breadth to the situation. I bet you thought I was going to say something else there, weren't you? But you're absolutely wrong, you preverts. So on that one, ladies and gentlemen, the future of Ubisoft is very undecided at the moment. They're getting sued as well, aren't they? I mean, it's bad enough as that they're having failing game sales, and in my next video, we'll be talking about Star Wars Outlaws, because we never get enough of that, do we? But it's been a bad year for them. I still think Tencent at some point will step on in and absolutely buy Ubisoft out. I think it's the right move. And honestly, if you want to believe the rumors that Ubisoft are deliberately sabotaging their upcoming releases just so they can get bought out by Tencent, it's bizarre. I just don't know why they would do that, but they're a failing game company. They used to be one of the all-time greats. They absolutely were, but of course they haven't been without controversy. But it's in dastardly hands, I'm not talking to you, Marley, regarding Assassin's Creed Black Shadows, which has been overshadowed by the Ubisoft workers going on strike. Does that mean this game will be released in time for February the 14th, 2025, coincidentally coinciding with Black History Month, because we are already celebrating that infernal, ridiculous pastime in the UK. But I think, Ubisoft may fail in that regard, which means that when eventually Assassin's Creed Black Shadows is released, it will be a smattering of cockroaches who will flock to your nearest game store and infest the premises, so customers can't get their grubby little hands on the AC Shadows. Bye-bye, Yasuke.
Black History Month you find ridiculous.
Well, did this video put a spell on you? If that was the case, make sure you leave a like below. Make sure you smack that subscribe button like it belonged to the naughty cheeky cheeks of Sydney Sweeney. And if I were you, and if you were me, you may wish to return for the next exciting installment of Sydney Sweeney.
After 5 years, I'm back.
It's true, many people do that. We even have our own nickname, boomerangs. Gaining skills and experience elsewhere is hugely valuable. The door's always open.